Can you hear me? Okay, good. Good. Let's check and see if Garen's in here yet. No, it doesn't say that he's watching yet. Hey, can I show you this? So, this is a very input-heavy game. So, a friend of mine recommended this program right here. What it does is it overlays your inputs as they're happening right here, so you can like see exactly what I'm doing and what it ends up doing in game. Yeah. A lot of people, what they'll do is they'll have like a controller cam or something to accomplish the same thing, but you can't see exactly what they're doing. But this way you can. So. All right, let's go ahead and get loaded into a hunt. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Actually, let's see if I have any dailies to take care of. A patrol hunt, Stormclaw, Frost Weapon. Yeah, let's go ahead and go after a Stormclaw. That looks good. That out, that. Yep. Okay. Nope, not in there. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da da da. Da da da. Da da da. Do do do. Oh, what is up with that field of view? Blurry effect. That was really weird. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Don't you just love that this is still stuck at 30 FPS? There we go. Now I'm getting like 80. I see you up there. Well, yes, I am. Come here, big boy. Oh my gosh. What is he doing? I was gonna say, I don't know how I dodged that. Oops. Yeah, he's a little bit dead. What were those horns? Oh, that was the horns and the tail. Yes, I have. I had that just the other day with Weaponsmith, I think it was. Your build, my build, okay. It loads back into town. Da da dun, dun dun, dun 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 dun. I might have to Alt F4. Restart. Dun dun dun. I'll give it 20 seconds. You know, I actually kind of wonder if the auto detect. Yeah, I had to kill it. I wonder if the auto detect is good enough to figure out if I sing it. Like, if I just cut out all other noise, I would be interested if I picked like songs that are really good at being that are often copyright claimed. You just go ahead and go through a list of them and see which ones get caught and which ones don't from just the vocals. Or is it more the background music that it's detecting? The accompaniment, as you might say. There we go. Let's go ahead and turn. We're going to do a cinematic version where it's all about music. Resecure your shroud. So, Resecure or Shroud, and also tell me if the music's too loud, because I need to turn it down if so. Yeah, sure. Can you please pick one now? The servers are really complaining right now. There we go. Yep. Garbage. You got an opinion, Garen? On Shroud or Resecure? Okay, cool. just do but I like the Rezikiri music better. Let's do Rezikiri. Oh, too late for that. No, I'll actually do it at the start of the hunt. I can still show you. I just can't, like... Well, no, that's going to be rough. No, I'll just go ahead and I'll do the hunt. And then right afterwards, I'll show you, like, the build. But I'll go over, like, what the important parts of the build are while we're going through it. Alright. So... there are 3 types of cells that I've managed to get up to +6 on this. Knockout King, which isn't super effective by itself on sword, but it is useful if you get it to +6. The second one is Rage Hunter, which is a little bit more useful because it's a pretty significant damage boost. And you'll see right here, if I can do an inspection, right here. I've got it up to +6, and that's 50% more damage. And Knockout King plus 30% more stagger damage, and then there's some stuff when you roll, but that's not quite as important. And then the third thing that's really... I've got some conditioning and agility on there. It's nice to have. The third thing that's really important is this Overpower. You get them from cores, which you unlock by leveling up in the various XP routes. So when it tells you that you got more Slayer XP, that gives you Slayer cores. So you can see this is absolutely insane right here. 80% more damage versus Stagger Behemoths. And this isn't just like pure staggered, like where bubbles appear over their heads. It's like if they get a part break when they reel back, that counts as quote-unquote staggered. Or if you boop them. So for example, Bloodfire Embermane with +6 Overpower is just easy. He dies like instantly. Well, there's other ways that you do it. Like, right here, you can see my quests right here that I have to do. And that's how you're supposed to unlock that. Because these give you way more XP. Like, this gives me 100 XP. And the Slayer, this one gives me 100 XP. And these ones give you 300 and a gold core. The gold cores are what you really want because they're a guaranteed +3. The silver cores are, once you get to the end of the game, they're not great. Because there are very few builds that can use a +2. Well, yeah, that's why they want to add the cell vendor, so that you can buy stuff. They haven't said how it's gonna work. I think they're gonna make it so you can buy cores, not buy cells, but cores. And then it won't take quite as long. All right, music's about to cut in. There, now my Rage Hunter just cut in, so you'll be seeing a lot higher damage numbers. Especially if I can get a stagger off while she's enraged. Or if I can, like, break out of this stupid thing. Now she's Aether Charged. I actually have +2 Aether Hunter as well. So, yeah, like you can see, she's ready to stagger now. Of course she used up all of her. Oh, come on. How did you hit me with that? Sure, you go ahead and solo her. You record it. Now, can I load back into town this time, please? That would be very... I would like that. I just appreciate it. Appreciate it. Okay. Like to enter Ramsgate. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now I'm entering. There we go. Alright, now let me show you my build. Okay, so the Frost Saber is nice because by default it offers +2 Aether Hunter and +2 Knockout King. I've slotted in +3 Rage Hunter, which we already talked about how Rage Hunter increases damage. Rage Hunter is slightly better than Aether Hunter in Generalist build, which is what this is. I don't want to have to switch builds for different behemoths because every behemoth enrages. They don't necessarily enrage for the same amount of time, and they're not always super damageable during that, but every behemoth enrages. The Aether Hunter is nice for Shroud and Rezikiri especially because they like to stay in Aether for a long time. Shroud is like an Aether 24/7 once he gets into the second part of his fight. So you can get a lot of damage out of +6 Aether Hunter on him, but I'm not building a build specifically for him. I'm building a generalist one. Bloodless is nice because the +3 protects against the wounded status, which is the default one. So if you're not fighting a heroic version of a behemoth that specifically creates crippling wound, then you just ignore the wounded status completely, which is nice because then you don't have to worry about your stamina at all. I could have used I mean, if I had like a +3 9 lives, I might have slotted it there instead, but I didn't, so that was like the best defense cell I had. This is something that I just slotted in to give me a little bit more agility. It's got the +2 conditioning from the plate, and then I slotted in +3 agility. So +2 conditioning and +3 agility on sword is pretty much all the mobility that you're going to need. It allows you to maneuver around and stay on the behemoth without worrying about running out of stamina, which is pretty important. I picked this one because it has a power cell and it has another +1 knockout king. So at this point, we're at +3 knockout king without any cells, which is nice. And then I slotted in the overpower to try to start stacking that overpower. Go ahead and throw another overpower onto here. This one's nice because not only does it have a power cell, but it has the +2 Rage Hunter. And you'll notice that the Rage Tail Treads also have a +1 Rage Hunter, so we're +3 Rage Hunter without any cells. You add in the cell that I put on the Frost Sword, the Frost Pangar Sword, and then I have +6 Rage Hunter. I have 2 cells that have overpower, so now I have +6 overpower, and then I go ahead and throw on another +3 Knockout King because that brings it up to +6. And Knockout King's slightly more reliable than Pacifier. Pacifier does more stagger damage, but first of all, I don't have any +3s for it. And second, it only works better than Knockout King on behemoths that enrage early and often and stay enraged. Razorwing Carabac is a great example of one that is great for that because Razorwing Carabac likes to enrage very early on in the fight because she's got a low health pool, and then she stays in that for a fairly long period of time until you basically kick her out of that, and then she just goes right back into it. So Rage Hunter is very nice against her, and because of that, Pacifier is very nice against her because it boosts your stagger damage while she's enraged. So you get both of the bonuses. If you have Pacifier and Rage Hunter on a behemoth that stays enraged and you're able to get some good combos off on them, they're pretty much immediately staggered because not only is your base damage higher from the Rage Hunter, but your knockout damage is higher from the Pacifier. Plus, if you've got some Knockout King in there as well, that's just an added bonus. Then once they're staggered, that's when the overpower cell takes effect. Hopefully, along with Rage Hunter, you've got both of the cell types working together, and you've got some really nice damage coming out of there. So basically, this build is centered around getting the behemoths staggered and then damaging them during that. That's where most of the damage comes out. But it doesn't rely totally on that to do damage because it does have +6 Rage Hunter. Yeah. Now this is my God Hand build, which I'll go ahead and show you on something simple. Alright, so here's what's going on here. The God Hand, because it is an exotic, shut up, that helmet is awesome. Has no default cell effects, but it does have 2 slots that are very nice. It has a power and a technique. Not a lot of pikes have a power slot. So I went ahead and threw in +3 overpower because there aren't really a lot of good damage cells that work well with a pike just because of the way that the pike operates. But if you wait for a behemoth to get staggered and then you throw the God Hand beam on them, it can stack up damage pretty quickly. So it makes the God Hand into a slightly better killing weapon than the other pikes, which are solely about wounding. Barbed adds a flat amount of wound damage. I've got +3 on there, and then I've got another +3 right here. So I got +6 barbed. Now that's an on-hit effect. So on-hit effects are better on weapons that hit fast and often, and that's pikes for you. So if I focus on trying to maximize my number of hits, I'm going to do a lot of wound damage. Acidic goes ahead and converts part of my part damage, whatever small part I'm doing, into wound damage. So it's just a bonus, kind of. I got +2 Blade Storm and +1 Deconstruction on here. The Blade Storm is kind of nice because it's there, but this is basically the only plate, like, chest type that I could fit in here. So the Blade Storm and Deconstruction aren't super important. They're just kind of there because they have to be. This helmet is really nice because it by default comes with +2 Evasive Fury, and then I throw on another +2 Evasive Fury cell. So now we're up to +4, and then these boots have these gauntlets have +2 Evasive Fury by default. So now we're at +6 Evasive Fury. It throws a bit of evasion in there, which is kind of cool. And then just like, remember I had my Moonreaver chest on the last build, so that gave me that kind of mobility and agility. This one does the same thing on the other one. It gives me +2 agility and +3 conditioning. And then +1 energize is just nice to have on a pike. But it's more there just because this had a mobility slot and wasn't somewhere where it would affect the whole build. Now, Evasive Fury is very interesting. Evasive Fury is one of those ones where you really want to get it up to +6. And the reason is that, yes, it is very bright. So you'll notice that the difference between number 5 and number 6 right here, a +5 and a +6, is 8 seconds and 16 seconds. So that means I roll once through an attack, and I have 16 seconds of damage, of extra attack speed. And the extra attack speed on the God Hand is, like, really, really nice. Let's pick a good behemoth to show it off. Nasher, maybe? Yeah, Nasher would be good. Now, I'm not going to totally destroy him just because of the armor that I'm wearing. Like, ignore the fact that he's in tier 2. It does cap the amount of damage that you're able to do. So I'm more doing the amount of damage that I might do with a tier 3 weapon versus him, as opposed to with a tier 5 weapon, which is what this is. I honestly got really lucky with cells. There's only a couple that I haven't gotten lucky with. I haven't gotten any +3 Evasive Furies, which they'd be very nice for a build like this because I wouldn't be forced to pick the pieces that I did for this. Since I don't have any +3 Evasive Fury cells, I really have to rely on the armor to make that into a +6, which does limit me. I basically am always going to want those Bloodfire Gauntlets because they give you a +2. Same thing with the Koshai helmet. I'd have more freedom if I didn't have that. And I have no +3 pacifier. But fortunately, I don't have a build that really requires it. Hi, dare. Yeah, energize +3 is not very useful on a hammer. So there you go. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off here. I'm gonna pop back in Discord.